Alright, so chapter 4, lesson 5, adding and subtracting mixed number fractions. Uh-oh, a little difficult. Learning target, I know how to add and subtract mixed number fractions, okay? So right here, we have our key concept. To add or subtract mixed number fractions, what we're going to do is we're just going to add or subtract the fractions. So for example, these parts right down here, if you look at these, the fraction parts, 1/3 and 2/9, we'd add or subtract those as normal. Find the least common denominator and change both fractions when and if needed. That thing doesn't change. Okay, and then the second step is to add or subtract the whole numbers, and the third step is to reduce if necessary. So let's kind of see what that is in action here. Let's do example 1. Example 1. It says find 7 and 1/3 plus 10 and 2/9. Okay, so I'm going to take 1/3. I'm going to add 2/9 to it. And it looks like we need to change this fraction over here. We know that if we multiply 3 by 3, it's going to give us 9. So we're going to rewrite that. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So we have a common denominator now. Plus 2/9 is just going to equal a fraction with 9 on the bottom, and 3 plus 2 is 5, and so 5/9. 5/9 is our fraction then. Now, we have to add or subtract the whole numbers. So, 7 plus 10, 17. Okay, so then we have our whole number as 17, and our fraction is 5/9. 17 and 5/9 is the sum of 7 1/3 plus 10 and 2/9. Okay, let's do example 2 now. We have 8 and 1/6 minus 2 and 1/6. We're going to subtract out 1/3, which means we have to multiply this fraction by 2 in the numerator and the denominator in order to get a denominator of 6. So that's just 1/6 now minus 2/6. And that's going to equal a fraction with 6 on the denominator, and 1 minus 2 is a -1. So we have -1/6. Ooh. Now, here's the tricky part. Let's say that I keep going here, and I have 8 minus 2. Say my whole number is 8 minus 2. That equals 6, right? That equals 6, which is right. But then I have -1/6. What? That doesn't make sense. How do I do that? 6 -1/6. Now, that wouldn't be a negative number, right? No. No, it wouldn't. Say no, it wouldn't. So what we have to do actually is we have to change this fraction, or this mixed number fraction here, to 5 and 6/6 now. And we have to subtract out 1/6. Okay, and the reason why we have to do that is because we're taking a whole number that is very, very positive, and we have just a -1/6. Okay, so that means that our fraction went down a little too far. So we're going to have 5 and 6/6 minus 1/6, and what we end up getting here, 6 minus 1 is 5, so 5 and 5/6. 5 and 5/6. Alright, I want to go now, just in case, if that didn't make sense to you, which I completely understand, I want to show you a different way to do it too. What you can do is you can change these numbers to improper fractions. So instead of 8 and 1/6 minus 2 and 1/3, you change it to 6 times 8 is 48, plus 1 is 49/6, minus 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7/3. Then you just have to multiply by 2 here. You end up getting 49/6 minus 7 times 2 is 14/6, and that just equals simply 35/6. Okay, and then you'd have to change this to a mixed number fraction, which would be that would be 5 times and 5/6, right? Because 6 times 5 is 30. And then we have 5 left over for 5/6, which is the exact same thing that we got on the other time too. Either way works. All right,
Some
example
totally
cool dude is designing a new skate park. The length of the skate park is 120 and a half feet. The length of the parking lot is 40 and a third feet. And what we want to know is what will the length of the park and parking lot be combined? Okay, so I have 120 and a half. I know I have to add that now to 40 and a third. 40 and a third. Okay, and the common denominator here is 6. So I know I'm going to have to multiply by 3 here and 2 over here. So we end up getting 3/6 if we're just looking at the fractions, plus 2/6, which is just 5/6. And then we add these two, 120. The whole number is 120 plus 40 is 160. And so we get 160 and 5/6 as our total lengths. Don't forget to label feet. So the total length of the skate park, and the parking lot combined is 160 and 5/6 feet. The end.